Hi, I'm Michelle. I just got back from Ireland. I had a fantastic time. I traveled there all by myself, and if I had to do it again, I'd do the exact same thing. I'd love to share some tips with you that might be helpful. I have traveled to over 30 countries, and I've learned a few things in my day. So here we go. Number one, know the bank holidays. If you go on a weekend that has a Monday as a holiday, you're going to be competing with other Irish tourists for hotel rooms, and that will drive up your costs. Secondly, you actually do not need to book a hotel room in advance. Just rent a car, drive around, stop at a village that looks appealing to you, go into the pub, ask where there is a great room to stay. They'll know the bed and breakfast, they'll know where there's a room, and they'll know where there is a hotel. Best way to get a room is on the spot. And remember, you can always negotiate price, especially if you're traveling alone, and especially if you're a female traveling alone. There wasn't one place that didn't reduce the price for me. The next thing to keep in mind is you'll want to drive stick shift. Do not rent an automatic unless you don't know how to drive stick. But if you know how to drive a manual transmission wherever you live, then you're going to know how to do it in Ireland. Yes, you use the left. The feet are the same. You drive on the left side of the road, but just hug the left, make wide right turns, and you won't have any problems. Immediately, I took to the manual transmission. It was no problem. You want to get a Mini, the smallest car possible, because the roads are very, very narrow, especially the rural roads. And when those big trucks are coming past you, you're going to be very happy you had a smaller car. Also, get the no deductible insurance. Even though your credit card may offer you insurance, a lot of them don't do it for Ireland. No deductible insurance is fantastic because if there's anything that happens whatsoever, there's no charge to it. There's no deductible. So you definitely want to get that. There are 3 different kinds of roads. There's the rurals, the R, the national, the N, and the M for the motorway. So I like the rural roads because that way you really, really see the scenery. You go right through the villages. It's beautiful. The national roads are also scenic, but not as scenic, and they go a little bit faster. The motorway, you will have tolls to pay and you go really fast, but no scenery. So I just say avoid the motorway the whole time. I used this map the whole time, the Collins Ireland road map. I like this one because it has so many small villages on there. It was perfect and easy to use, and I just would fold it to open it up and fold it to where I was wanting to go. I also used a compass. Just the compass on your phone, it works so you know you're going in the right direction. It's perfect. I did not use Google Maps. You do not need Google Maps. You just need a map, and it's way more fun. That way you can pick where you're going and stop along the way, pull to the side of the road. If you have questions, you get lost, you talk to a construction worker or you talk to a taxi driver. Those guys are awesome. They're absolutely awesome. They will help you with anything. They're salt of the earth and about as the friendliest people you will ever know. So no problem whatsoever. I did bring a guidebook that I started with, but then I didn't use it. I found that all it did, and this one was the Ireland Best Trips by Lonely Planet. It's a good guidebook, but the problem with it is it just led me to all the tourist spots. I didn't want to hang around with tourists. I wanted to be around local Irish people. So the way I did that was find it on my own. And I did that by talking to the local tourists, the local people there, and they told me exactly where I should go. And I'm going to give you some of those tips in just a second. You'll also want to have one of these. This is like a 3-prong adapter. You can get this in where you live. Super easy, plug in. That's all you need for electricity, and you'll be set. Please do not check a bag on the airplane. I never check a bag. There's no need to check a bag. That way, if there's a flight change, you can just jump on the other flight and you're going to be set. I did that. I saved 4 hours one time, and of course I didn't have to pay anything because I didn't have a bag that was checked. It was so easy. Bring a rain jacket. You'll need one. You know, what else said on that? It's going to rain. It's going to rain. Call AT&T, Verizon, your provider, to ask them about their global plan. I know AT&T has $10 a day. It's pretty cool. I never used it, and it's only if you use it you have to pay. So you set it up ahead of time. I kept my phone on airplane mode the whole time, and if there was an emergency, I could have just flipped it to regular service. It would have cost me $10 from that starting point, and I know I could have had the service for texting, for phones, or for internet. So that's pretty cool. Wi-Fi you can get pretty much everywhere. ATM machines you can pretty much get everywhere. There's a lot of banks that don't charge any fees. So you can check and see. There's one bank called Charles Schwab Bank. You can just open up a checking account with them, and when you're in Ireland taking money out of the ATM machine, and then also back with Charles Schwab, they won't charge you anything. In fact, they refund you the money that are charges. It's free. It's insane. And this is probably the best advice I'm giving you. You'll save tons of money on fees. The other thing is you really want to talk to the people to find out where to go, that kind of thing. So I'm going to give you some of my favorite highlights on the trip. The first one, my favorite place was Quinn. Quinn is this super, super tiny village. It's near the Shannon Airport, maybe 20 minutes away. There's this place called Abbey Tavern. You can have dinner there, sit at the bar. I had the best Atlantic salmon of my life there. It was phenomenal. I stayed upstairs at their B&B. It was just this super clean room, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And then I had, I went to the Quinn has an abbey across the street, and it's this, I guess maybe 14th century structure that you see old people walking through with their little dogs, and just so beautiful. Next to it, there's a cathedral, and I kind of wanted to walk in, and there was this old lady, and she was saying, oh, we're planning a funeral. And I was like, oh, okay, I won't go in. She says, no, honey, if you want to say some prayers, just go on in. And then we talked about what was going on in her life and all her feelings, and we just had this beautiful exchange. It was lovely. I went down the street to Malachi's Bar, which is a 250-year-old pub that's amazing. Again, there's this really cool bartender owner, and he just made me feel so comfortable there. I loved him, and they were watching horse racing on TV, betting, money, losing, winning, local gossip. I was the only non-Irish person there, and I had the time of my life. I loved it. Another cool place is that you'll want to hit to is Kenmore. Kenmore is a small village again, well, smallish. It's a city maybe, and but there's so much fun things to do there. So many cool bars, and I really liked the Rowdy Bar. I like the Rowdy Bar because again, it's local, and you won't get the tourists in there. It's just full-on local. In fact, the bartender taught me about this, which was Bushmills single malt Irish whiskey. It's 10-year. This is my absolute favorite Irish whiskey that I had over there. I did buy Redbreast 12-year later at duty free, which by the way is a really good deal. I think it was 40 euros, and I think maybe in the US $65 you'd pay or something. So it is a good deal. This is what a lot of people really like. My favorite though was the other one. If you're going from Kenmore and then you're going to travel up to Killarney, you'll pass through the National Forest there. Definitely take time, get some exercise, and go on a hike by the Torque Waterfall. They have a short hike, a medium, and a long hike. It's really well marked, and it feels fantastic, and it is beautiful. So you'll want to go there. That's another really cool spot. Okay, listen to me. Skip the Ring of Kerry. Skip the Ring of Kerry. Go on the Beara Peninsula instead. And let me tell you why. They even share the same water when you're doing it. The Beara Peninsula is smaller than the Ring of Kerry, but you won't have the tourist buses. You do not want to be stuck by all these tourist buses on these tiny roads. You want your freedom. Beara Peninsula is gorgeous. Beautiful landscape, gorgeous sheep and cow and green and ocean, and just amazing. You'll love it. So that's really, really cool. The other one, Cliffs of Moher, sorry, don't do it. Instead, again, I learned from a local tourist, was go to Kilkee. Kilkee, K-I-L-K-E-E. Oh my gosh, you will walk on the most beautiful cliffs of your life, just like Cliffs of Moher, except there's no tourists, and you don't pay for parking. You don't pay for all these things that Cliffs of Moher has really dialed in and built up to. So if you want to be like the locals, then go there instead. You also can go to Loop Head right after that and take a drive over the cliffs as well. Just miles of beautiful, beautiful scenery. You'll be taking pictures left and right. It's absolutely stunning. stay flexible. You never know what's going to happen. My phone broke on the trip, and guess what? I just said, screw it. I'll deal with it when I get home. And I did. Now I, had to get a new phone, but who cares? I didn't deal with it on the trip. You'll be just fine. And my advice is, if you're by yourself, if you're alone, enjoy being alone. It's a beautiful thing. You will meet people that you wouldn't meet if you were traveling with friends or with someone in your life. It opens you up. It makes you more, bold and brazen, and you'll find things about yourself that you never knew. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Talk to you the next time. Bye.